Caves are amazing works of nature that hide some fantastic secrets from the world above them. It is a great experience to explore, and here are some of the best caves in the world that you should visit for a really wonderful experience. Number 13. Reed Flute Caves. In Guilin, China, for many years now, people have flocked to the caves known as the Reed Flute Caves. It is a simply stunning structure with splashes of color all around, and it was discovered back in 792 AD. Since then, many people have been coming here to bask in its wonders. There are some terrific rock formations and a number of stylicities which one can feast their eyes on. The Reed Flute Cave is 240 meters in length, and many parts of it are illuminated. There are also more than 70 ancient inscriptions on the wall of the cave, which shows that people have been coming here for a long time. The blasts of color and the reflections make the Reed Flute Cave look as if it belongs in the sketchbook of some psychedelic painter. Number 12. The Antelope Canyon. When we think of winds, it is mostly as the soft breeze that blows across our face. But sometimes, the winds can cause great things without even blowing that wildly. That is the case with the Antelope Canyon in Arizona, and flash floods also helped in shaping it into the way that it is now. But of course, one needs to be careful, as flash floods do tend to take place here often, and have been known to kill tourists without any warning. But the good news is that there have been guided tours here since 1997, and the Antelope Canyon is particularly famous amongst photographers and sightseers alike. The Antelope Canyons are quite literally poetic in nature, and it looks like they have captured the very song of the winds. And the red stone also makes this cave even more spectacular. Number 11. Son Doong Caves. Located near the Laos-Vietnam border is the Son Doong Cave. And as of now, they are the largest caves known to man. The cave is really striking to look at, and once you do manage to get inside, there is a large fast-flowing subterranean river to be found. The cave is believed to be 2 to 5 million years old. Inside the caves, you can find isolated ecosystems, weather systems, and many geological formations. The vastness of the caves will definitely leave you in awe, and if you have the adventurous streak in you, the Son Doong Caves must definitely be on your list of things to do. Number 10. The Blue Grotto. Okay, be honest and tell us if the name did not intrigue you. And if you ever do manage to visit this gem of a cave in Capri, Italy, there are far too many things to be intrigued by rather than just its name. The Blue Grotto is a sea cave, and there is a brilliant blue glow for which it is known. The glow comes from two sources. One is the entrance, and the second is a much bigger hole beneath the entrance. The view inside is surreal, with a serene blue glow emanating from below the surface of water, while the entrance appears as a brilliant white light. The Blue Grotto caves are well known by the locals, who often come to explore its wonders, and the cave can be accessed by boats. Number 9. The Cave of Crystals. When in 1910 miners discovered the Cave of Swords in Chihuahua, Mexico, they did not know that a much larger and more awe-inducing cave was located just below it. When it was finally discovered in 2000, the Cave of Crystals revealed beauties like never before. It contains the largest natural selenite crystal ever found, and the biggest crystal was 12 meters long and 4 meters wide. But the environment inside the cave is not very welcoming, with temperatures ranging between 50 to 58 degrees Celsius and 90 to 99% humidity, which is why it is largely unexplored, as even scientists with the proper gear can only stay inside for 30 to 45 minutes at a time. And what's more fun? The crystals actually glow. Number 8. Fingal's Cave. The uninhabited island of Staffa in Scotland is home to many wonders, but perhaps there is none greater than Fingal's Cave. It is a sea cave, and there are many distinctive hexagonal basalt columns to be found here, which looks like the works of dwarves in many lores of fantasy. In fact, once inside, you would not be the first who thought that they were inside a cathedral. The size of the cave, along with its shape and naturally arched roof, combine to give it that feel, and the waves also create some eerie sounds that enhance the atmosphere. And if you ever wanted more motivation to visit the cave, there was also a famous musician who visited here and then wrote an entire concert overture inspired by it. Number 7. Eisreisenwelt Ice Cave. Imagine a cave where you can actually experience ice that is 1,000 years old. That is the sort of thing you can expect when you visit the Eisenreisenwelt Ice Cave, which is a natural limestone ice cave. In fact, it is the biggest cave of its kind and extends a massive 42 kilometers into the earth. Of course, not all of it is open to the public, and you can only go up to 1 kilometer into the cave. But that does not stop people from visiting it though, as more than 200,000 come here every year. It was formed by the Saljak River, which eroded pathways in the mountains, and the thawing snow that drained the cave froze and gave it those wonderful ice sculptures. Number 6. The Mammoth Cave. When the name Mammoth is given to something, it has to be large, right? And the Mammoth Caves are no exception. Located in Kentucky, USA, the Mammoth Caves span a mind-boggling 52,830 hectares, which makes them twice as long as the second longest cave system in the world. There are many features in the cave like a Grand Avenue, frozen Niagara, and the Fat Man's Misery, all of which can be accessed through the various tours that are conducted here and can last as long as 6 hours. Just be sure to never get lost in them because it is definitely going to take a long while before you can figure out how to get out of these enormous caves. But given its beauty, it might not be all that bad. Number 5. Scottgen Caves. Scientists are usually a picky bunch, and they are not really ones that jump to conclusions. But when many international scientific circles consider something to be one of the most important natural treasures in the world, it is definitely worth a look. Which is probably why the Scottgen Caves in Slovenia is on the UNESCO World Heritage Site list. The caves are home to some of the most significant underground phenomenon in the world, and they are some of the largest underground canyons known. The beauty of the caves is something that has to be experienced firsthand, and it is also home to a diverse ecosystem. And what makes it even more interesting is that these caves were not always abandoned, and many found a home here during the prehistoric times. Number 4. Carlsbad Caverns. Nestled deep into the limestone rock of the Guadalupe Mountains in New Mexico are the Carlsbad Caverns. They are an extensive network of caves, which is one of the very popular tourist sites there. The caverns include the Big Room, a chamber which is 4,000 feet long, 625 feet wide, and 255 feet high. It is the 7th largest chamber room in the world. The Carlsbad Caverns host a plethora of options for tourists, which include camping as well as bat flight, where they basically witness bats flying out of the caves at sunset and back in at sunrise. Number 3. Waitomo Caves. If you ever wanted to visit nature in all her spectacular glory, New Zealand would definitely be the place you should visit. This wonderful country is home to many spectacular sights, and one of them is the glowworm cave called the Waitomo Caves. The cave is a natural beauty, and the view is turned into something out of the world because of glowworms. These glowworms are generally the size of mosquitoes, and there are millions of them inside the cave. Of course, there are very stringent measures in place to ensure that their population is not harmed, but there are guided tours that you can avail where you will take a boat through the magical caves with a ceiling that looks straight out of a fairy tale. Number 2. Marble Caves. Marbles are a wonderful material to build stuff from. They have beautiful little patterns which make for some amazing sculptures and buildings. But if you ever wanted to witness marble in all its natural glory, you should head to the General Carrera Lake in Patagonia near the Chile-Argentina border. This little beauty is a water-filled cavern system and is one of the largest deposits of marble in the world. And waves have been shaping the marble in this cave system for over 6,000 years. What is interesting about the marble caves is that the water level changes frequently here. That, combined with the fact that reflection of natural sunlight off the turquoise water is the only source of illumination here, gives it a lot of visual effects that actually change depending on the amount of water. Pretty neat, right? Number 1. Benagil Sea Cave. Imagine a cave so remote that the only way you can get to it is by going through water. And yet, people are willing to do that, because the Benagil Sea Cave is simply a natural wonder. The cave has a naturally occurring oculus along with its own private beach. The cave is located in the Algarve region of Portugal and is actually much bigger than it appears from the outside. The caves were carved from the pounding waters of the Atlantic Ocean, which come as a mix of the sky, the ocean, the sun, and the rocks. But you might want to hurry here though, as the caves are expected to collapse, though no one knows when. And neither is it something very alarming, as it is part of the natural geological evolution process. So these were what we think are some of the best caves in the world are. If you disagree with our clip, or think that there are some other caves that should have been featured here, do let us know in the comment section below why you think that they are absolutely breathtaking. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the latest updates on all of our videos.